Today is the fifth and final part of the $1,000 salvage history Camaro. I am driving it right now. What we're going to do today is we're going to throw a sub in it, as well as an amp to go with our stereo deck that we installed in the last video. And then we're going to do a transmission cooler because regardless of the fact that this does have a B&M Stage 2 street and strip shift kit, it doesn't much matter to me. I know that it's still a 4L60 at its heart, and therefore it really doesn't like heat. It also has a 2800-ish, 3000-ish stall converter in it, so therefore it's going to build a lot more heat, which there again, the 4L60 doesn't like. So let's get the sub and amp installed. We'll get the tranny cooler installed. Might go do a couple burnouts with those. So here I have the cheap Walmart setup that's set up for 1100 watts. This is the 96 Camaro. I ran the wiring up there and through the little hole down behind the PCM. Somebody already cut that right there, which is terrible in the idea of mice, but it made it really easy for me and I didn't even have to take out the PCM here. So I'm just gonna wire up that sub into the battery there, and then I gotta get a ground cable, RCA wires, and some other stuff. And it really should only take about an hour. So this is all I'm doing to tuck the wiring right here. I'm just tucking every piece of wiring. And if I find any junk up in there, I'll get rid of it. But these old Chevys and all GM products and pretty much anything from the 90s has terribly plasticky interiors. So you can kind of just tuck these things up and never be seen again, which is good. So right now I'm just going to pull the few screws that hold this on, as well as this, fold down that seat and run the power wire up there. And then tomorrow when I have a chance to get down to the store, I'm going to get a ground wire, some RCAs, and a remote wire. And that's all it'll take because I already have a Boss 1100 watt amp and I have a Kicker 10. Next day here, and we're gonna grab one of these for the ground wire and the RCAs and the remote wire for about 40 bucks. So the way that I cut these is I just take the razor blade and walk it around the wire because you can't cut it with these ones. Part uno. We have my personal electrician here.
It's fucking dog piss out here.
It's like 70.
Oh, dick.
All right, so we're running everything through there. Already pulled the Walmart Bluetooth stereo deck out. Tucking everything on the sill panel. And we run it up through the non-existent hole here. Got a little location for my subground. No, it's not the best place to do it. I really don't care. No, we just have to fix my amp because there's something broken off in there. And we'll have all the goodies. All right, late night at work here. Amp's on. Connecting the Bluetooth. And she's gonna thump. I think it's gonna snow.
I'm ready.
A little look-see before I button everything up here. We got a Kicker Comp 10 in a slim box. This sits pretty much flush with the seat. Shouldn't take away any visibility. We have many zip ties that are going to help us out.
Indeed.
And we have a Boss Audio 1100 watt amp. All the wires are run to the front through the cheapest dual deck that they offer. That sub sounds pretty decent for just being a little 10 with an 1100 watt amp. Adds a little bit of thump to the car. Definitely more than enough for the trashy speakers that are in the car as well. Right now we are going to head up and put that 8-pass transmission cooler on. I've got the lift in the garage ready just in case I have to get under the car. It should just be kind of cut, clamp, zip tie because it goes right through the radiator. There's no AC system in the car, so there's nothing going to be in my way. And we'll be good to go. And now we're done. No more fun. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these 3 bolts off, fold this up. This is holding back the looped heater hose, and we'll put the tranny cooler in here. We'll run the zip tie things through. Cut here. Cut there. And meet them in the middle. So this one came off without any problems, actually. I don't want to take it any further, but you can see, which isn't normal for cars up here in the Rust Belt. Now we go up on the left, going to take care of the bottom one first. Nope, she doesn't need a puck. Okay, I've got that off. Let's see what we're working with here. We have an 8-pass cooler, which is quite large if you can compare to my hand. Mounting hardware, more hardware, hose. They do want you to run it in series a lot of times. I don't really believe in that. I would rather just run it as a replacement. So this is what I plan to do here. So you're going to have the line that goes to the lower. That's going to come out probably here. So you can see. We're going to take it off of the bottom of the radiator, which is all the way down there. Connect with rubber hose to adapt it to this. Do the same with this upper hose. It's right here. And then just mount this in the front, and we'll be all set.
So what I'll do is I will pull the lower line off. I'll put a pan underneath it so that it can collect all the lost training fluid. And we will run the lower line, because that's the one that's going to need the most tubing. And then we'll run the upper line, and then we'll go do some burnouts.
So if you've never done this before, pretty much what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this line off. You route the straight portion around the radiator so you can use as little of your tubing as possible. And then you do the same on the upper one, essentially. All you're doing is taking an upper and a lower, putting something in front of the radiator, and doing another upper and a lower. First one is done right here. So all I did is slide this back in case somebody was to want to use the stock location again. Now I'm going to run this around the radiator up to the front up here with this hose. Cut it to length. Do the same thing for the top. Add a little extra fluid, and we should be good. Using eyeball measurement tactics, I have decided that I'm going to cut it about here. It's going to allow me to run the cooler right to the middle and still have about a foot of line to run the top one around there. It looks like I am going to have to take the fans off the car, unfortunately, which is going to kind of suck, but it is what it is. I'll try to just pull them out and see if I can get the little pins through. They're the zip tie version. Put it through here. It latches on. Got 4 of them. Pretty much do the same thing. These little foam pads so it doesn't hurt anything. And then we get one of these that goes on the other side as well. That looks like it kind of clicks in like this. Or like this. One of the 2 ways. Probably this way so that it can grab onto the other side. So I did find a way around having to take the electric fans off, and that's to put those zip tie things in from the engine side, push them through, and then you kind of loop them around as you see here. They go back through the radiator, and then you kind of snip them off like you can see here, and that way they don't come in contact with your fans. This right here will give you an idea of how I ran the training line. The audio kind of left on this clip, but I pretty much just connected the top line to the top of the cooler, and then I filled it up with about another quart or so of training fluid, and we were all set. I'm not going to burn the good tires off. I'll throw the 16s back on her, and we'll go burn them off.
Alrighty, y'all, I got some burner tires on the back now. They are 245 50 16s on the stock 16-inch wheels. And we are going to go do what every car should do before you sell it and do a few burnouts. Maybe a couple donuts. Who knows? We'll see. Oh. think burnouts in the rain don't count, because this one would probably ruin my... Can't express how much fun this $2,000 car has been throughout my ownership. I don't know if I'll match this level of fun in another $2,000 car, but you know, I'm on to the next one. It's up for sale. I've had my fun. I've made my videos, and this is the last part of the series, so I hope you guys did enjoy. Got some other stuff in the works now though, so stay tuned for that.